family hates mom's new husband. I don't even know if it's new, so much that they're like, we got to sit her down this weekend.
No,
and
it's not new. This has been going on for 20 years.
20 years. Okay, yeah, 20 years. And we got to say, hey, you are just like a shell of the woman you used to be. You got to get rid of this, dude. So they were calling it a family intervention, kind of.
Yeah, so she was trying, her and her brother are basically trying to get their sister to participate in the family intervention because this gentleman that met their mom about 20 years ago, they got married and then they had a child together. And so the sister has a different father than they do. But this man has basically been, in her words, a narcissist and has been just extremely toxic for their mom. And she's just not the same anymore. She's not the same woman she used to be. And they feel like genuinely deep down she's extremely unhappy. And they don't know how to get her out of this situation other than just really sitting her down and talking to her. But they feel as if it would be a little more convincing, all in all, if they can get their sister to participate in it, even though it's her real dad that's causing the issue and that they're talking about. So she wasn't sure exactly if she should involve the sister, if they should just do it without the sister, or how exactly they should get this information to their mom.
Did we realize on Friday if the stepsister also felt the same way, like this was just a bad relationship?
It's a half sister because they share the same mom.
Right.
So they all have the same mom. She has, obviously the dad who they're saying is the narcissist. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they revealed that.
Yeah, she's going to stick up for dad either way, probably.
Yeah.
So Kristen has the email update. Must have been a stressful weekend.
I wanted to thank you and your show for taking the time to discuss my situation and giving me some perspective on the entire thing. We did attempt to talk to our sister and get her to realize that our mother is not in a healthy situation. We tried to be as gentle as we could in discussing her father and his controlling and emotionally abusive actions. Unfortunately, she got instantly defensive on his behalf and wanted to hear nothing from us about the situation. The conversation ended in tears and she left. We were hesitant to continue with our intervention, in quotations, with mom for fear that it would seem almost like a betrayal to our sister. However, after more discussions with each other and our significant others, we decided it was best to talk to our mom about our concerns. That conversation was equally as emotional. Our mom ended up agreeing with everything we said for the first time in over 20 years. She admitted that all this was true. Not only did she admit to what she had seen for a long time, she seemed to hint that it is even worse than what we had thought. The conversation got to a point where I was begging her to do what needed to be done and leave him. Sadly, she won't, and for the very reason we knew she wouldn't. She knows our sister would be devastated. She feels that it is a pointless action to take. She says her prime years are behind her, which we disagreed with, and that it made no sense to do something so dramatic when it would only cause sadness for one of her children. She said she's found ways to cope in her marriage by limiting the time she is around him. She said she travels so often for this very reason. They also have a very large house, so they don't need to be in the same room most of the time. I tried to convince her that life would be so much better for her and that our sister would be fine in the end. Unfortunately, no matter how much we tried to talk sense into her, she didn't agree, and we couldn't convince her. So for now, this is how it'll remain.
Man, this is so sad. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but life really is short. It really is. So when you're looking at 20 years of your life plus, now she's committed to it just because she thinks she's aged out and there's nobody else out there for her.
It's never too late to find happiness, by the way.
Never too late, man. And she's spending more energy avoiding this guy than anything else. It is just, life is too short. Hey, Elizabeth, good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to point out that it sounds like the stepsister is probably less than 20 years old. And I mean, I'm only 25, but I know that as you get older, your perspective and your sort of mature ability to look more objectively at a situation like this really grows a lot. And so it's possible that the two older siblings are just in a much more mature and better place to even realize what they're trying to get their younger sibling to sort of grasp onto. And she might not be old and mature enough to even be able to look at it like that.
Totally get you. Really good call. Yeah.
100%.
They're going to try to speak to her, and she's not capable yet of processing exactly what they're trying to tell her, maybe.
Well, that and also it's her dad, and I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't want to believe these things about her dad. And even if they're happening in front of her, things can be happening in front of you, and you can still choose not to see them.
Hey, Marie, good morning. You're on The Bert Show.
Hi, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you. What's up?
Okay, so I went through exactly the same thing myself, maybe a year ago, and I can honestly say I'm almost 100% sure that has nothing to do with the daughter. Yes, we love our kids. We don't want our youth, but we know the reason, for me at least, the reason I didn't left is because he was controlling me. Like he was telling me, you can be out without me. You're not financially. What you gonna do? Who you gonna live with? There's nobody's gonna take care of you the way I do. So believe it or not, it sounds dumb, but that works really awful when it comes to your self-esteem.
Yeah.
And you start to believe them. Like you started doubting yourself. He gaslighting you. He's telling you that you're nothing without him. And I'm sorry.
It's
No,
okay.
don't apologize at all.
And I have two grown kids, and they were telling me the same thing. My daughter, I mean, like I was ashamed because why can't I, example I was doing for her. But until she is actually break the habit herself, it has nothing to do with the daughter. It's him controlling her, and it's all kinds of, from the moment that she leaves the house, financially, everything. I can guarantee he's also watching where she goes, what she do. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff, but it has nothing to do with the daughter, because at the end of the day, the daughter, one day, she's going to leave, and she knows that. So it's all on her, and there's nothing anybody can do until she is free and get some help like I did, and realize that, yeah, you can do it on your own. You don't have, I'd rather be living in the box and happy than just going through all that. But I can, if they hear me, just stay by her side. Don't leave her alone. Tell her that no matter what, they're gonna be there for her, and she will see it. She will see it. But there's nothing anybody else can do. It's like an addiction.
Yeah.
If you want to get better, then it doesn't matter how many people tell you. If you're not ready, you're not ready. But it has nothing to do with the daughter.
We hear you loud and clear, Marie. Thank you for
Thank
calling.
you.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show on your favorite podcast platform. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us. I don't know what any of these buttons do, by the way.